All right, it's the week before Christmas, and I find myself sprinting up Charles Street in Baltimore, pushing a stroller with my 5-month-old baby, Mabel, inside of it, to my wife's slightly inclined car. And I'm thinking in my head, you know, there's no way this guy is really going to tow the car. Apparently, I had misunderstood that, you know, one of those signposts that has like the 9 parking signs on it. You got to interpret like, you know, it's like no permit parking only from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, and loading zone from 11 to 1 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, hovercraft parking every alternate Friday. Check the website. Okay, I mean it's Wednesday. And then at the very bottom, there's one that says, you know, in small print. By the way, the city can tow your car at any point in time if you just feel like it. So good luck. So that's the one I missed. Anyway, so I'm thinking, there's no way this guy's just seen me. I have a kid. Okay, I'm panicking. It's the week before Christmas. It's cold out. He's not going to really make me do this. So maybe you can see what's going to happen. But I get to him and he says one of the most bullshit phrases in America still today. I can't. I already started the tow. Like, yeah, bullshit, okay? Really? All right? Because, you know, as we learn in kindergarten, what goes up must come down, right? And not only that, but the eyeball test would tell me that there are currently no other cars on the back of the tow truck. Assuming that it's been used again, then they must have gone somewhere, and logic would dictate they probably went down. So yes, jerkwad, who's now seeing a panicked look of a father watching his only ride home from Baltimore leave, but you can put it down, you just won't put it down. So, if you want to see some picturesque coolness under pressure, you should have seen my daughter. She just looked up at me with a little smile and said, "Dad, don't worry, we've got all my food here." Okay, we got here in time to find out where he was going. He offered us a ride, and you know, maybe it's company policy that they can't put the car down once they start to tow. Maybe it's dangerous to the other cars around them. So let's just get the car, go home. It's only money. Don't you hate it when they use reason? I'm like, anyway. So I definitely did not keep my cool, okay? I was losing it, and like, my voice was cracking. I was verging on tears, real tears, like legitimate, not just for leverage, but like end of big fish type of tears, okay? Okay, good. You guys have daddy issues too. All right, yeah. So I'm breaking down, and I'm trying to interpret my options at the time, and I've only been a stay-at-home dad for 2 months since my wife went back from her maternity leave, and I've already committed several fireable offenses, so like one more, and she can fire. I'm still probationary. She can fire me without cause at this point. So I'm like, okay. The offer on the table right now is for me to ride up front with the tow guy while Britney Spearsing my baby. And you know, I'm like, this is not going to happen, okay? Because although I was thinking, well, what could really happen, okay? If he drives slow, we're going like 3 miles, and I'm holding my baby. My wife could shoot me in the face with a bazooka. That's what could happen when she finds out I did that to Mabel. So that's not going to happen. And I asked him, I'm like, okay, well, can we ride in the car, in the back? You know, the baby seat's already in there, and I'll just sit in there. Apparently, we're not allowed to do that. All these damn rules. So, as if from the heavens, an angel appears beside me, and she starts to, she's witnessed this, you know, horror of the rottenness of the by-the-book integrity of the city employee, and wants to try to make a difference. So she starts to try to argue my case, you know, maybe thinking that a woman's touch will help soothe things, or maybe just if we ganged up on him, democracy would set in and he'd have to put it down, right? Or maybe she just wanted to make me feel better. But it did not work on any level, all right? He was still taking the car, I was still panicked, so then she offered us a ride, which I was overwhelmed with. I'm like, thank you so much. This stranger that I don't know, I found out her name was Sherry, and she also has children, so Mabel had a seat to ride in, and she went to the University of Baltimore, like I was going to, and she also shares a hatred for people who take other people's cars off the street, so we bonded over that a little bit. But anyway, so we get to the tow yard, which I've been meaning to show Mabel anyway. And we get there, and And I get out and I ask, what can I do? And, she doesn't give me her email address or her phone number or her Twitter handle or her Pinterest, whatever, which is fine, and I assumed that at the time that it was just because she wanted me to know this was purely an act of kindness, not to be repaid in any other way. And if that be the case, then thank you, Sherry, for your act of kindness, for balancing the scales of good today. I wish you the same should you ever have your car impounded from DC. But it's also possible that despite my wedding ring and my baby daughter and my panicked sobbing on the streets of Baltimore, that I still appear as that much of a creeper to women, that she didn't want to give me her info. So, and that's fine, either way, it doesn't matter if I don't have her information, or at least it wouldn't have mattered had I not left my baby bag in the car. Yeah. Now I got real problems, okay? The patients that my very hungry and exhausted baby had summoned from her mother's genetic side were starting to wear off. And so I'm like, okay, I ran out of the impound lot to see if it had taken Sherry over 7 minutes to navigate her way out of the parking lot. It did not. So I went back inside to see if I had mistakenly set the bag down and misplaced it. No, I did not. So I did the only thing I could think of, and I ran back outside to see if she was back out there. Nope, not circling around. So now my only recourse is to sit there and wait for her to realize that the bag is in her car and to come back and give it to me. And I was just standing there with my baby daughter for, it seemed like a long time, probably at least 10, 15 minutes, waiting for them to input the information, my wife's car. We got there before my wife's car. That's how awesome this impound system works. So I'm standing there waiting, my baby's fussing, and then all of a sudden I notice that I had the bag on my shoulder the entire time. I'm truly surprised at how horribly I panicked in this situation. So now things are settling down. They're cool, okay? I got my baby, I'm nursing her. Yeah. It's in the book. You should, anyway. I've got my baby, I'm feeding her, and there are only 2 seats in this little dingy, dirty room that reminded me of the bathroom from Saw. And I have Mabel in my hands in one, and my baby seat is taken up the other because there's no floor space. And they're between anywhere from 2 to 4 people while we're doing this for 45 minutes. And they understood, and they stood. And it was because, and they never shot me a dirty look. Nobody ever said, can I please have, and it's because, everybody's in this shitty situation. Nobody wants to be in a Baltimore impound lot. I'm pretty certain of that. So, but they understood. They knew of all of the crappy situations going on. Mine was probably the most evidently crappy. So they were cool about it, and it made me feel good to have I felt a sense of camaraderie at that moment with these people, that I really had very little in common with, to be quite honest. And so. Anyway, 45 minutes later, it came time to finally go. They finally found a way to get my car and take my $300, which I'd been willing to give them, hours ago. And I needed both hands to sign the paper. And so I turned around, I needed to put my baby down, and the lady behind me in line was willing to help out, and she offered to hold my baby. And the defining characteristic of this lady is, she was great and very sweet from the wrist back. But her hands were like Hugh Jackman in X-Men, and I was like, she's 5 months old. And her baby seat is right behind this lady. But honestly, I didn't want to offend this lady, and she wanted to help. And at that point in time, I felt like I wanted to let her help. Okay, because we're all in this together, and I wanted her to feel like, and I don't want to be the douche in the, no, sorry, I'm gonna. So I handed her to Wolverine for 15 seconds so I could sign the paper, and I got my baby back. We got in the car. She passed out within 15 minutes. Never cried. She never fell asleep, but she never cried. God bless her. And maybe it's just because people felt like being nice to me that day. I really appreciate it. Thank you, people of the Baltimore impound lot, Sherry and Wolverine, for your kindness on this given day.